Castanado. As we come
Probably missed Lauren Mills on the roll there, Paige. Really good screen and roll from Lauren.
Yeah, drive now by Brown. Kick out pass. Good child for back-to-back. Asked for a place to limit her shots tonight, but she's certainly seeing the ball very early on in this first quarter. Bradley now with it, puts it to the floor, looks inside to Mills, this time on the roll, can't get it to go. Rebound by Brown.
Yeah, and that's the one we've been talking about on the last play, so Lauren's just got to finish that.
Clear inside here to Renault, couldn't get that one to go. Mills got the rebound, now quickly up the floor here. Bradley's pass paid off to O'Neill.
Great running. She's been a really good addition for the Chargers this year, Sarah O'Neill. Great points output and really hustles hard on the defensive end.
Tied at 5 apiece here. 2 minutes in the first quarter. Is Goodchild again goes exploring, but Mills got a hand on that. And now ball quickly up the floor here as that music just bombs out in our effects, Mike. Mills down low, gets to the go.
Yeah, really good move, Lauren Mills. She's had a good start to the game. A nice block there and a nice little left-hand hook. So a good start by the Chargers to lead 7-5.
All start on the defensive end and then finishes off offensively on the offensive end. Now Brown once again getting harassed by Banks, but now and then offensive foul's been assessed here. That's going to be on Brown for an illegal screen.
Yeah, not a lot of movement there, but Jack Wilcock thought she didn't quite have the position there, so called the offensive block. So a good defensive set by the Chargers.
So Bradley to inbound here. Chargers will look to capitalise here. Is Wayne Davey just standing very idle there on the sideline. O'Neill for the runner. Can't get that to go. Brown able to reel that one in. Off and running. Needs numbers in support. Has to slow it down. Looking to go solo. Another offensive foul here. And that's going to be assessed on Renault. So some interesting...
There's a little bit more contact on that one. A little bit movement. She just didn't quite have her feet set. Wasn't expecting the contact there, and Coleman ran into her. So another good defensive set by the Chargers.
So can the Chargers again capitalise down this end of the floor, and unfortunately Banks not able to reel that one in. Ball goes out of play. So it'll be interesting to see here, can the Chargers, like what we've seen in games in past, Chris, is if the Chargers can get on fire early and sustain that good shooting form, their confidence is really up and about. But if the Mt Gambier side here run away, but it might be a bit of a tough stick here.
Yeah, really important to start. And I mean, Mt Gambier lost at home to Bendigo last week, and Brown and Ryan Hull were really quiet. So if the Chargers can do the same job here, then they're right in the game.
Coleman puts it to the floor now, pulls up. That's an offensive foul. She used the off arm to clear space.
Well, we don't see that every day, Ronald. There's four fouls called so far, and 3 are offensive. So
yeah,
really physical start.
Really is. This game has certainly brought the heat already, and well, both teams are in for a tough one here tonight by the sounds of it. It's ball with Brand Castanado. Now Renault. Claire with a no-looker. Of course, Claire playing her ball with the Sydney Flames in the WNBL this season. Foul on the play there. Looks like it's going to be on Banks by the sounds of it.
Yeah, a little bit slow to rotate there, Lauren. They've got to really make sure they rotate. There was some good penetration there from Goodchild that created that opportunity. And Goodchild's an interesting one. She's on the move again in the WNBL, so she'll be off to Perth. Her 4th WNBL club, and she's only 22. So started out with Logan, was part of Townsville's premiership side in 2018 before heading off to college. Of course, part of the strong Duke college program.
Yes.
And then I think Bulleen last year, and then off to Perth this year.
Bit of a journeyman, so to speak, Chris. So good luck to her with Perth, because WNBL season starting in October as well too. So we should see most of our NBL 1 players involved in that as well. Meanwhile, Coleman. Now to Bradley. Cross court here we go to Banks. Banks just hesitates. Then gets the pass to Mills for a mid-range. Jay, that was short. Coleman with the offensive rebound. Now back out to Mills we go. So Banks slowing this one down once again. Look to attack. Steps through. Can't get to go off glass. Rebound by Renault. And now Claire with it. So Claire looking to split through a couple. No, goes for Renault instead. She steadies herself. Puts the foot to the ground. No trouble in the process. It was 2 steps and she was able to get it done.
That last offensive set from the Chargers, the ball didn't hit Paige Bradley's hands once, and I think that's where they'll get into trouble. She's the one that creates for them.
O'Neill now with it. Here's Mills. Banks. Shot clock at 8 for the Chargers as Banks needs to get a bit of a move on. Kick out past O'Neill. O'Neill throws one up. That's off the money. Mills with the offensive rebound and a 2.
Yeah, good body work there from Lauren. Again, though, the ball didn't hit Paige's hands, so they've got to make sure she's involved in the game.
So, Claire. Renal, Claire, they all combine on the two-man action. Now Claire into Renal. Nice two-man action off that play. So Mt Gambier out to a 1 point lead now. 10-9 as we're halfway through the first quarter here. Banks. Now Bradley on cue for us finally. And good timing as well as she knocks that one from downtown.
There's a lot of on-ball screen action happening at both ends of the floor. That time there, they didn't use the roller and kicked it on that extra pass, and Bradley knocks down the 3. She's having a really good season, Paige Bradley.
She certainly is, Chris. Averaging around about 19 points per game currently at the moment. And really being a scorer and a facilitator. Meanwhile, Renal from downtown.
That's a nice looking shot there from the top of the key. Look, faked the last one and then knocked that one down. All nothing but net.
So O'Neill looking for Mills inside, but decides to go elsewhere. Coleman is the option now. Banks. Now Bradley with it once again here. Bradley getting that on ball. Looking for Mills. They come harass her. Banks from, well, that was a piece there, but then all of a sudden Coleman able to get the scraps and gets the 2.
Very smart by Coleman. She knew there was no time left on the shot clock, so got it straight back up. Puts the Chargers back in front by 1.
Yep, it's a seesawing affair here early in this first quarter. Mills with the rebound off the miss there by Renal. Now Bradley, again that on-ball screen. Now Mills down low, working away on Renal. Splits for a couple. Banks from the corner for 3. Yes.
Yeah, and that 3 came about because of the hard work of Lauren Mills inside again. So she's really doing some stuff tonight that we haven't seen for most of the season.
Yes, no, good to see Zoe Banks really taking her opportunities here. And knocking that one down. Meanwhile, Renal now to Kalia. Claire finds an opening and good hesitation move through Mills and gets the 2.
A little bit too easy, that one. Lauren's got to move her feet there defensively.
So Coleman bringing the ball down now. Substitutions looking to be in as Broomhall and Finlayson will look to check in for the first time tonight. Coleman into Mills. Mills able to get that one and the 2. So pretty play by the Hobart Chargers. As now they extend their lead by 4. Just with near 2.5 to play here. Brand Casanado on the cut, but steps out of court and ball goes out of play. Substitutions for both sides here.
So really good start by the Chargers, and in particular Lauren Mills. She's got 6 points, blocked shot and a number of rebounds, and also created that last 3-point shot as well. So they'll be looking for her to continue that through the game. And that's the big thing for these Chargers women. With Steindl out, they need consistency across the board tonight.
Absolutely, a bit of a next man up mentality, so to speak, Chris. Meanwhile, Banks now with it. Here's Coleman. Coleman pulls up from the elbow. Can't get that to go. Finlayson with the offensive rebound. Now back to Bradley we go. So Bradley attacking the basket nicely and gets rewarded. So good try by Paige Bradley. Extends the lead out to 6 now as Mt Gambier trying to look for some answers back on their offensive end here. Rock with it. Back to Brand Casanado. In turn to Brown. Brown kick out to Goodchild for 3. Yes.
And that's just not reading the scout. You've got to know that she's going to shoot that every catch, so you've got to get there before the ball does.
Absolutely, Chris. Must stay on her. Meanwhile, Coleman can't put the shot up and couldn't get it to go. Missed everything. Goodchild off and running. Has Rock in support and can't get that to go. But Goodchild with the O board can't get it to go either. So Goodchild really having an effect in this first quarter. So Banks looking to attack here, splits a couple, back to Bradley for 3, looks good, is good for Paige Bradley. And Matt Sutton has seen enough, he'll call timeout. Minute 27 remaining in this first quarter. Hobart leaded by 6, 24-18.
I was going to say just before that shot, it's strange that he hasn't called a timeout already, being a front runner in the league, that they were trailing a bit, not playing that well. So the Chargers really good start, 10 of 19, shooting 53% from the field. And they've 3-point shots are 75%, 3 or 4. Of course, Paige Bradley knocking a couple of those down. So a really good start by the Chargers.
Absolutely. Now, Yoto, if you just come back to the middle, we have a new cameraman tonight as well too. I do have a new crew in tonight. JB, of course, away on family commitments. If JB, if you're watching, hello. And Sam, our normal cameraman who's you usually hear, he's away in a state tonight. So new crew tonight. It's a fresh look. I like it.
There'll be no wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Tonight. I can assure you of that.
We'll leave that one to JB. Even I won't even say that tonight. I'll just go with my, throw it down with 2 hands or something.
So minute 27 to go in the first quarter here, and the Chargers will be really happy. They're leading the rebounds 10-7. They're shooting the ball really well. They're getting through their structures. They've got 7 assists to 4. Paige Bradley leading the way with 8 points, and Goodchild leading the way for Mt Gambier with 8 as well. So a really good, impressive start to the game. Nice and quick flowing. Obviously, the Mt Gambier calling the timeout there, trailing by 6. They'd be wanting to shut down a little bit better defensively in this last minute and a half leading into the break.
Yes, absolutely, Chris. And we'll see what plays out here. Under 90 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. Of course, we're coming to you from the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre as round 13 continues on here. So, Grant Casanado, now it's a Goodchild.
Alex Finlayson severely undersized in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock from downtown once again. She knocks that one down. Rock having a nice cameo appearance there. And, of course, Akuso, who played at Melbourne last season. It's my knowledge in the NBL 1 South. And a good rejection there by Brown. Banks trying to go to the rim, but Brown said no way, Jose, on that play.
Really small lineup here for the Chargers, so they've got to make sure they really get through their structures and get to the break here without giving up this lead.
So Bradley for 3, yes. Oh no, it's a 2, sorry, 2. So quickly up the floor here, Goodchild working away through, goes up, can't get it to go. Kuso with the rebound, now Brown from deep. She can't get it to go either. Bradley with the rebound here. And Hobart looking for maybe a quick 2-for-1 here. O'Neill taking the basket hard, can't get it to go. Broomhall with an offensive rebound. Banks for the finishing touches. Back on that one. And the ball with Brand Casanado here as we wind our way down here at the end of the first quarter as she puts it up. That's short on that one. And a foul on the play. And that's going to go the way of the Chargers. So that was on Brown. And substitution here is Ronald comes in for Brown. Nick Coleman coming in here for offensive purposes here, Chris. She'll come in for Bradley.
Just 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Get Paige an extra little bit of a spell and get Coleman to try and attack the basket.
So 15.9. And let's see, the Chargers will probably slow this one down for one shot, you would think. So Coleman working away through. Now Finlayson. She pulls up for a mid-range too. Short on that one. Akuso with the rebound. And Rock will have it. Time expired in the background as that goes down for Rock. Now Gambier want to counter but as well after the event. And at quarter time, Hobart leaded by 5, 26-21.
Yeah, a little bit lucky there. They probably shot that ball a little bit early. Alex Finlayson there. She probably needed one more pass or an extra second or two before getting that off. Really good start by the Chargers. They'd be very happy with that first quarter. 26 points without.
The player sponsors Hank Petrusma EIS, Bulk Nutrients, Campbelltown Hotel, Foot System Exercise Sports, Priority, Josh Willie MLC, More Confidence Consulting, Tas Precision Contracting, Pars Heat Pump Centre, D'Angelo's Restaurants, DS Projects, and of course for the Hobart Netball Sports Centre, Sambura and Schweppes Asahi Beverages. Second quarter underway here as Banks now with it, nearly threw that one away, but Coleman able to recover. Back to Banks we go. Banks looking for options, has to throw one off, can't get that to go. And then Finlayson does a good job of trying to get that one in, but she's down, and let's hope she's okay down there. Chris?
It doesn't look good. It's
no.
Ankle. Well, it looked like the front of the ankle, so
yeah.
I don't think it was a roll of the ankle. She has had issues previously with snapped Achilles. I don't think it's that. She's been in a lot more pain.
Yes.
But a little tweak, I think, is what's happened there. I think the Chargers, this is a really good sign here right now. They've struggled a little bit there with Paige Bradley out of the game just to look after the ball and create some stuff. And that's where some of these locals that want to take the next step, go and work on your ball drills, make sure you can look after the ball, make sure you can do stuff and create stuff at this level. So that's the challenge. And most of these players that we see sitting on the bench are point guards or people that are going to have to carry the ball. So there's a real good opportunity for some of them to step up. And I guess, you know, the big one this year that has stepped up is Chloe Broomhall. I think she could be really pleased with her season. She's gone from, you know, probably the bottom end of the bench to starting some games and certainly being early off the bench. So outstanding season for her so far.
Absolutely, no. Myself and JB have definitely covered her in good detail, and good to see she is having a bit of a breakout year. Akuso down low, can't get it to go. Then Broomhall on cue for us gets the rebound, and now Banks with it here for the Chargers. So Broomhall, here's O'Neill. So Mills. Coleman for three, just off on that one, and Grant Castaneda with a rebound. She's off and running, goes to Rock. Rock inside to Renault, and a travel.
Travel call, a little bit of a hop there before she put the ball on the floor. Some good defence there from Broomhall.
Paige Bradley coming back in to Zoe Banks there, and looks like Kaleo is coming in there for Brian Castanado.
And so a really good learn for Zoe Banks on that last offence was she came off the on-ball, but there was a gap about a metre wide, so she's really got to get better at coming off there at an angle so the defence gets stuck.
Bradley just missed that one on the drive, and now Kaleo with it here as we come up the floor. Now Rock gets that on ball from Kuso, and nice pick and roll play by the Pioneers.
Yeah, lack of communication there from the Chargers there on that screen and roll. No rotation.
So Bradley again finds an opening here, but they send a bit of a blitz. And now Mills back to O'Neill, who puts it to the floor now. Bradley into Mills, kick out pass once again. Shot clock at 5. O'Neill for the mid-range 2, can't get it to go. Mills with the O board, and she goes to work, can't get that to go either. Good defensive sequence by the Pioneers.
Probably turned down 2 good looks there, the Chargers. Sarah O'Neill's got to catch and shoot that 3, and Lauren Mills has got to shoot the little hook on that first catch.
Renault, as Broomhall hits the floor, and the 2. And timeout by head coach Dwayne Davey. Will not be happy with that run, Chris, from Mt Gambier, as they go back to 1 point here.
It was always going to happen. I mean, they're a quality side, so really started the quarter well, going inside offensively, which they didn't do much in the first quarter. And the Chargers just a little bit underside, and offensively just lost their way a little bit. The first quarter there, they were really positive offensively, penetrating, getting that screen and roll action happening. And this quarter, they've just been a perimeter focus, just passing around the perimeter and not really creating anything. So they want to adjust that here in this timeout. Yeah. Their shooting percentage has dropped. It was 50% there for most of the first quarter. It's down to 38% now. Their three-point percentage is down to 38%, whereas Mt Gambier's has increased theirs to 48% from the field, including 40% from the three-point line. The Chargers still lead the rebounds 15-14, and they're 7-6, and the score by 1. So they'll be looking here just to regroup, refocus on some of the stuff they did really well in the first quarter and come back out and restart again.
Chargers not doing a bad job either. We get a little bit concerned about the turnover rate. They're only at 2 turnovers at the moment, so they're not doing too bad of a job to take care of that basketball. Because in some of the games we've seen throughout the season, Chris, that turnover count right now can be quite high. Yeah,
the only time they looked a bit shaky was when Paige was off the floor. I think when the ball's in her hands, they certainly look comfortable.
They certainly do. Broomhall with ball carrying duties here for about 5 seconds. Now Bradley with it here. She will get it back to Broomhall. Hobart will look for a good set on this play. Now Bradley fires from deep. Short on that one. Mills with the O board. Kick out back to Bradley as they reset here. So Bradley going to work here. Goes up for the jumper and gets it to go down.
Yeah, again, another really good offensive board there from Lauren Mills. Really having an impact tonight.
She certainly is. She's up and about for this game, Chris. That is for sure. Ball down to Akuso. Akuso one-on-one with Mills. Akuso doesn't mind this matchup, I don't reckon, Chris, as she draws the foul on Mills and will go to line for 2.
She's been a real focus here in the second quarter. Didn't touch the ball a lot in the first quarter, but really providing some issues down low here at the moment.
Absolutely. Of course, Akuso's been around the league for a little while now, as I mentioned. Did play a basketball with the Tigers and now at Mt Gambier this season under head coach Matt Sutton. As Akuso knocks down the first. Not a bad crowd coming in at the moment. Of course, we do have a doubleheader this weekend. Tomorrow night, the Keilor Thunder are in town. They're currently up in Ulster at the moment, taking on the Tornadoes and the Thunder respectively. 4 other games being played across the Coles Express NBL 1 South season tonight. Mills. O'Neill. She's looking for some options. Goes to Bradley for 3. Yes! So good vision there by Sarah O'Neill to find Paige Bradley.
Some really good spacing there too from the Chargers, with Paige flaring out to the corner and O'Neill finding her for 3. That's 15 points now for Paige Bradley, having a really good game. So
much better execution after the timeout here. Now, Goodchild goes up, nice move, but couldn't get it done. Bradley involved in it with Rock and Goodchild, but jump ball.
So the Chargers got away with one there. No split line help defence there whatsoever. Coleman getting beaten off the dribble, and unfortunately for Mt Gambier, Goodchild unable to finish. So
play to restart. Kalita inbounded here for the Pioneers. And she goes to Brian Casanado for the 3. Can't get that to go. Bradley able to tap that one to O'Neill. And now Broomhall, Coleman, they all combine now. Coleman pulls up. Short on that one. And Rock with the rebound. So Rock into Renault. Renault. Kalia thought about it, but turns that one down. Kuso with a small play call. Now Rock from the top of the key. That was a bit over much. Mills able to reject the Kuso shot. And now Bradley as we come back down to Hobart's end of the floor. And then Bradley just with the not with the right pass. Clay able to pick it off. And then Coleman able to get back in time, but Renault able to pick up the scraps and draw the foul.
Yeah, Coleman not having a great game tonight either. She's not shooting the ball well. When she first arrived here, she was shooting the ball really well. The last couple of weeks now, I don't know what her injury is. She's carrying something from what I believe. And she's those wide open looks just aren't going down for her at the moment.
No. It's been interesting to follow, Chris, that's for sure. The club haven't given us anything official on her injury, so Renault can't get the first to go.
Zoe Banks back into the game. Chloe Broomhall taking a spell.
Yeah, so good stint there by Broomhall. And Renault makes 1 or 2. So margin at 3 here, just on 5:45 remaining in this second quarter. So Bradley, Mills looking for some options here. Bradley was open on that back door. Coleman now has to go exploring, puts it up, draws the foul, she'll go to the line for 2.
Bailed out. You called it right, Ronald. That was a perfectly run offence. Beautiful back cut from Paige Bradley. Lauren Mills just didn't see her. Could have been an easy layup for 2.
Absolutely. Brown coming in for Akuso here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, great quarter so far from Akuso. She's really done a power of work offensively, both setting screens and finishing down low.
So Coleman at the line here for 2. Can't get that first one to go.
They've done well, the Chargers here, since that timeout, just to regroup and settle. Just got to make these foul shots.
And no, you put the commentator's curse, I reckon, there, Chris.
Missed both.
You're not the only one this season. Me and JB can do it all the time. Meanwhile, Renault gets the 2 off. Nice transition play by the Pioneers.
Yeah, they run those lanes really well. The Chargers got to make sure they've got some defensive transition happening.
O'Neill. Here's Mills. Into Banks here off the cut. Banks with an rejected by Kalia. And Chargers to get it back there. Tough matchup for Banks on that one against Kalia, who's got some very good experience. So Bradley to restart here. Alex Finlayson just coming out of the change rooms. Back to Hobart we go. A deflection was off Brown. So Neal, Bradley. Shot clock at 4. Bradley pulls one up. Can't get a go off glass. Kalia with the rebound. Off and running as Brown in support. Goes to a now. Goes up. Rejected by Bradley. And a late foul on the play. and that will send Mt Gambier to the line.
Yeah, a bit of body contact there, maybe missed by the lead referee and caught by the trail. But again, that offensive set, really good screen from Lauren Mills. Paige Bradley comes off nice and strong and probably should have been hit on that roll. Wide open layup.
Leah Bartlett looking to check in for the first time tonight and coming off injury as well too.
First game back, Ronald?
Yes, first game back for quite some time, Chris. And
about round 2 or 3?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's been quite some time since we've seen Leah Bartlett out on the floor. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of rust or any fitness she might have, just struggling to get back into her first game.
Well, I think this game might suit her. She's a physical player. She likes to scrap, and that's what we've got right here at the moment.
Absolutely. Of course, hails from country Victoria as well too, and they, fair to say, big country do scrap a fair bit. Meanwhile, Bradley on the drive. So back to a 1-point lead now for the Chargers. Again, a seesawing affair here in this first half.
Up to 17 points, Paige Bradley, with still 4.5 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, having a good first half right now, Chris. She's doing an excellent job. Meanwhile, ball here with Renault. Back to Rock. Rock finds an opening through the middle, and great drive there by Imogen Rock.
Yeah, strong drive, but Coleman's got to be doing a better job of that and pushing her to a weekend.
Banks decides to fire for 3. Back on that one. Claire with it now, and off and running. Will look to go for it. Kick out pass. Rock for another basket. Well, that missed everything. Well saved by Brian Castanado. Brown for 3. Yes. And Dwayne Davey calling timeout. And it's another run to the Pioneers that sees them up by 4 here.
The most disappointing thing for Dwayne right now would be how they're getting beaten. So, you know, we had a 4-on-2 there from Mt Gambier. That's not talent, that's work rate.
Yep.
So the Chargers know that they're not as talented as the Mt Gambier group. They've got to make sure they get back on that defensive transition. And then that last basket was just a failure to get after the ball. Mt Gambier wanted the loose ball, the Chargers stood and watched. And then it was kicked back out for that open 3. So they've got to do those little 1%ers, otherwise they won't be able to stay in the game. Absolutely.
Dwayne Davey looks like he's drawing a few things up on the whiteboard. Matt Sutton also working the whiteboard overtime as well too. We might just we might do this now. We'll get another roll call in of the sponsors. We'll make sure we pay the bills here. So on behalf of NBL1, Coles Express, Sea Relief, Mitsubishi and Foot Locker, for your McKay Timber Hobart Chargers is McKay Timber, Swisher Hoops Academy, Skybus, Bennett's Mood Food, THA, Core Staff, Marsh, AD Waterco, SS Glass and Glazing, Connect, Callis Hospitality, Chris Eichen Agencies, Go Transit Media Group, Rockwall Bar and Grill and Cooley's Hotel. Our basketball partnerships are through Basketball Tasmania and the Tasmanian Check Jumpers. Our media partners for Mercury, 7HO and SEN. Our player sponsors, Hank Petrusmo, EIS Property, Bulk Nutrients, Campbelltown Motel, Food System Exercise, Sports Priority, Josh Willie MLC, More Confidence Consulting, Tas Precision Contracting, Pars Heat Pump Centre, D'Angelo's Restaurant and DS Projects. Meanwhile, Sambreros and Shreps Asahi Beverages for the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre. 3:50 to go here before the major break as Coleman now works her way through. Needs help. Now O'Neill fires from deep and rattles that one home. Back to a 1-point ball game we go from that long bomb by Sarah O'Neill. And now Kalia back into Brown. Off a good, again, a 2-man action that's kind of rattling the Chargers a little bit on the defensive end.
Yeah, but it's just fundamental things, Ronald. So even on that one, Zoe Banks has got to jump to the ball. So she's guarding the player one pass away. She can't be front guarding her because she's beating her off the cut. If she jumps to the ball, once she cuts, then she can get her hand in the lane on that pass.
Hobart just need to pick it up more defensively. They're just the assignments and how they could do better. I'm sure will be addressed at half-time by head coach Dwayne Davey.
Yeah, they've just got to be focused here now. They've got to get a set of stops, otherwise this could blow out to 6 or 8 before the break.
Absolutely. You've seen games where in this first half it can be make or break, and then that third quarter can open up the floodgates. Bradley. O'Neill, here's Coleman. Coleman fires this one, and this time it goes down for Corey Coleman.
That's probably the toughest shot she's had tonight and never looked like missing.
Just straight off that on-ball screen and just fires it from deep, and that'd be a good confidence booster for her. Meanwhile, Rock, now to Brand Castanado, as she puts it to the floor. Needs help, goes to Renault. She fires for the response. Can't get it go clear with a good O board. and then into Brown. Brown goes up, banks out a piece of it, and Mt Gambier to get it back.
Yeah, a bit of good defence there at the end there, but they should have had the ball. Coleman's got a box out on that opportunity.
So Brown to restart here, 2:47 remaining. Ball inside to Brown. Mismatch here. Coleman comes over. Foul on the play. Dwayne Davey not happy with the call.
There's a lot of round leather stuff in that one, Ronald. I'm not sure Dave Farmers has quite got that one right, but saw some contact somewhere.
So foul is assessed, and now Brown back at the line here for 2. Of course, Brown with 7 make that 8 points now for the game.
It's really physical at the Mt Gambier end under the basket at the moment, so a lot of contact going on.
Mt Gambier really swarming their players into that board's presence, Chris, and really just crashing hard. So, been interesting to see how the Chargers adjust to it all. Meanwhile, Bradley now, Banks, back to Bradley we go.
Alex Finlayson preparing to come back into the game.
Yep,
She's jumped off the stretcher.
Yep. Yeah, good to see. Of course, we've known Finnish for such a long time, Chris, a tough competitor, never backs down, and great to see you back out there.
Yeah, certainly the veteran of this group, been around a long time now.
Yeah, I think she was here when the original Chargers women's side was introduced back all those years ago, Chris.
Yeah, your memory's better than mine, Ron.
No, she's been one of the originals, that's for sure. Bradley from deep, can't get that to go. Brown with the rebound, needs some help. Good pressure by Finlayson. McClare now with it as we come back down the floor here. So Claire finding an opening, finds Rock at the corner for 3. Yes, Imogen Rock having a good second quarter.
And again, that was created. A couple of the Chargers a bit slow getting back. Alex not moving that well there, so she was trailing, which created the open play.
Back to 5 points here for Mt Gambier as far as their lead is concerned. Hobart looking to peg this one back. And then a poor turnover there by the Chargers as Claire's off and running. As Brown in support, Claire goes solo, and it was a good option.
Yeah, lead out to 7 now. Mt Gambier getting up and down the floor a lot better than what the Chargers are at the moment.
Certainly got they're running their legs quite quicker than what the Chargers are. So Chargers a little bit tired as we go into the major break. Coleman with that shot was short, and now Goodchild with it. Inside to Renault. Rock for another 3. Can't get that to go. Renault with the O board. Now Claire will try her luck from deep. Back on that one. Another O board for the Pioneers. Ball down to Brown as she hits the floor. Back to Goodchild. Goodchild goes up and off glass gets the 2.
Yeah, too many second chance opportunities. Chargers probably lucky that Mt Gambier didn't knock a couple of those 3 points. Because they're smaller Chargers at the moment, they're doubling down into the paint, which is creating some openings on the perimeter.
We haven't seen Mills back on for a little while here, Simo, so I wonder what the strategy might be from the coaching staff meanwhile.
Yeah, she'd be out there for me right now, Ronald.
Yep. Brown now with it as we come back down the floor. Defensive play there by Bartlett, but Goodchild recovers. Can't make the Chargers pay. A lot of holding going down there between Brown and Bartlett there. A tough scrap.
Yeah, Bartlett did a pretty good job boxing out there. Just couldn't quite get to the ball afterwards. The Mt Gambier ball leading by 11, 39 seconds left on the clock.
So Goodchild to restart. As Claire kicks it out. And the shot goes by Brown. Short on that one. Claire with another offensive rebound. We'll certainly get to those numbers shortly. And Claire gets that one with a bit of body English on it for the 2. So to play here with Bradley. Bradley looking to attack. Splits for a couple and can't get it to go. But good work by Paige Bradley there, getting herself to the rim on that play.
Yeah, it's really blown out here, Ronald. They're going to have to really regroup the Chargers at the halftime break, allowing Mt Gambier to move on to 50 points.
When you put 50 and a half, Simo, it's you're certainly on your way to that 100 mark, and right now they're shooting the ball at a really good clip. Meanwhile, Bradley here at the line for 2. As I think we're just waiting for Bartlett to do up a shoelace. So crowd a bit of a hush as the first one goes down. Just having some trouble with our dashboard here. We'll try and get some stats up for you in the next 14 seconds or so. Oh, here we go. They're back up and running as Brady knocks down the second here. So final play here in the first half here. Clear with it as you'll bring it over the timeline. Now Clear into Goodchild. Can't get it to go. Rock with the O board. And then a ball scrap on the floor. Siren goes. And that's half time. Half time. Yep, there was a siren somewhere.
Very quiet siren
Very
there.
quiet siren,
huge,
Chris.
Huge second quarter there for Mount Gambier. They'd be wrapped with that. Outscoring the Hobart Chargers 20.
Up on the northwest coast in Olveston.
Yeah, so the Tornadoes have made a good start there in that first one. So they'll be looking to get a win and keep their slim finals chances alive.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Hobart will try to play spoiler, but at the moment, there just seems to be a pasture at the moment as Brown goes up and gets the 2.
Yeah, nice step through. A little bit sloppy from the Chargers. Haven't been a lot of turnovers, only 8 turnovers, 4 each in the first half, so not the best start from the Chargers.
No, certainly not. Can they redeem themselves here on this offensive set? Coleman fries from deep, and well, that's one way to respond in kind.
Yeah, that's what they need. A little bit more scoring output from Coleman just to release the pressure off Bradley.
So margin at 8 here is clear. Now Renault to Brian Casanado. She needs help. And now Goodchild with it as she attacks here. Goes up and has found a way to get to the basket and get it done.
Yeah, 2 really good drives from Mount Gambier in a row. Patient, stepped through, waited for the right opportunity.
O'Neill. Now Coleman for another 3. Yes!
He's feeling it, Ronald.
That's what you want to see from your import. She needs to start firing, and good signs here early in the third quarter. That's back-to-back 3s. Meanwhile, that's poor defense, which leads to a foul, and Renault to the line for 2.
Yeah, it's a really good start by Coleman on the offensive end, but it's not going to count for anything if they can't play some defense, and that's the one negative with Lauren Mills being out there. She has to be able to rotate on that, not just stand and watch.
Broomhall coming in for Zoe Banks.
Zoe Banks on four personal fouls, so I don't think we'll see her again until the fourth quarter.
No, certainly not. That's, well, geez, and that 4 fouls has creeped on us like no tomorrow, Chris. We didn't see that one coming. So, as you mentioned, extensive time on the bench now. As Renault knocks that first one down and gets the second to go. Out to 9 points our margin here.
She's been super impressive tonight, inside and outside offensively.
So Bradley, now O'Neill. O'Neill working away through, finds some opening, but Renault probably good defense there and able to force a tougher shot by O'Neill. Now clear with it. Grant Casanado from deep, can't get that to go, and Broomhall will let that one go out.
Yeah, maybe a little bit forced there, that last one from Sarah O'Neill. She's a really good shooter. She just needs to wait for those shots to come.
So Bradley with it. And she comes up the floor here. Bradley looking for her options here. Good defense by Brad Casanado, but then Bradley finds an opening, can't get that 3 go. Mills on the O board and the putback. So margin back to 7 here, Chris, as well. Brown has overextended herself. She thought she was playing netball here at the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre.
Yeah, good pressure there from Chloe Broomhall. That's what they need to get back on that defensive transition so they don't give those layups up.
So Bradley really now pushing it up the floor here. Now Broomhall. O'Neill. So Mills now here with it. A lot of play on that weak side to the middle. As Coleman goes to work. Goes up and gets the 2 to go. She's up to 8 points already in this quarter.
And the Chargers should be looking to get the ball in her hands now. She's obviously feeling it. 3 from 3 in this quarter. So keep going to her until she goes cold.
Renault from deep. In and out on that one. And Goodchild with the O board there. So good hustle there by Goodchild. Can't reward herself though. Coleman with the rebound. And now Bradley with it as we come back up the floor here. As Hobart slow this one down. So here Coleman in the background with some play calls. Bradley pulls up and gets the 2 to go.
So they really need another stop. You can see the coaches going down there. We need 4 stops now. They've had 3 in a row.
obviously one of their KPIs has been getting a number amount of stops in a row, but can Castanado make him pay? Yes, she does.
Yeah, good patience there from Mt Gambier, just a lack of defensive rotations from the Chargers. Had 2 players guarding one under the basket, which left the open 3.
Back to 6 points on margin here. As Hobart trying to get this back within at least one shot. Mills gets the 2. We're back to 4. And
she's up to 10 points now, Mills. They're doing a really good job on the offensive end. Now just got to be really active here defensively.
Yep. As Goodchild for back-to-back triples.
Didn't do a lot wrong there, the Chargers. No. Coleman had a hand up, but Goodchild, really nice stroke there from the 3.
Up to 15 points now for Goodchild. She's definitely having a night out here in Hobart on a cold winter's night. As Coleman now. O'Neill, Broomhall, shot clock at 6. Hobart need to get busy with the ball. Broomhall in all sorts of trouble. And poor pass and good defensive pressure by the Pioneers.
Yeah, really good defensive pressure. Chloe Broomhall's just got to learn not to pick a dribble up in that situation. Keep a dribble alive until someone comes to her and another option's available.
Certainly, we really classified some of the good highlights of Chloe Broomhall, Chris, but certainly those little things like that still that inexperience at that level, still counting to go, well, she's human.
Yeah,
and she's still growing.
Yeah, she's still very young. Still very young, so that'll come.
Goodchild with it. Goodchild pulls up on the free throw line, can't get it to go. Renault with a good O board, it draws the foul, but probably going to be on Mills as Renault will go back to the line for 2 shots. So fouls assist on Lauren Mills, that will be Lauren's 2nd. And there's Coleman. It's a bit of a word with head coach Ryan Darby. Renault back at the line here for 2. Mount Gambier, the Pioneers men's side in the house. They look on the take on the Chargers here tonight. A few of the Chargers boys in the building already.
Yeah, it should be a cracking game, that. I mean, don't worry about the ladder positions in terms of that. The Chargers men coming off 2 good wins last weekend.
Yes.
Mount Gambier men, I think, 2nd on the ladder, so a really good hit out.
And of course, a replay of last year's Southern Conference Grand Final as well too, Chris. So looking forward to that matchup, and we'll have more on that in our men's game for you. Meanwhile, out to a 9-point lead now for the Mount Gambier Pioneers women's side. As Bradley gets that on ball once again. Now to attack, pulls up from the elbow. Can't get that roll. And then Broomhall gets the O board. Bradley tries a luck from 3, and it was a better option for Paige Bradley.
Yeah, and that's what Broomhall does do well. She hustles well, she crashes the boards. She's had some really good games rebound-wise this year. So
Goodchild for the response. Can't get it to go. Renault tap that one out of court, and Hobart get it back.
And a little win for basketball at the moment. She's a very good footballer, Chloe Broomhall, so basketball is her chosen sport at the moment.
Yes, and we'd love to see all those people stay with us in the basketball, because we know they certainly have good futures, and not denying that she could have a good career in footy. I just think basketball is more her suit, Chris. So Coleman from mid-range can't get a go. O'Neill just couldn't hold on to that one. And now Goodchild off and running. Goodchild into Renault. Renault, well, there's a foul on the play. Hobart wanted travel, but David Farmer sees it a different way. The foul's going to be assessed on Corey Coleman, sorry. That'll be her 3rd personal as well too. So interesting times for head coach Ryan Davey. Maybe if she picks up a 4th, she might have to come on the bench. Meanwhile, Brown getting double-teamed here. Jump ball, good defensive play by Mills and Broomhall.
Yeah, good defense by Broomhall and good help from Mills. Mount Gambier will get the ball back. So the Chargers have had a really good start to this quarter. 5 minutes in, just down 6 points. So they'll be looking to start a new set of stops. So they started the quarter with 3 stops. They want to get another 3 here.
Yep, they sure do. And they want to keep them in single digits as well too, going into that 3-quarter time break. Meanwhile, Renault has other ideas, but can't get that 3 to go. And now Bradley up the floor here. So Bradley gets that on-ball screen. Kick out. Well, I thought she was going to... She does now to O'Neill. That could have been earlier. But now back to Bradley here. Renault with a hand in her face. Now Bradley fires and missed everything. And that goes out of bounds as Imogen Rock will come back into the game.
And this is where the Chargers are a little bit hamstrung without Steinel. Mills is starting to struggle now physically, a bit out of puff. Couldn't close out to that last shot, but they haven't got any other options in the bigs. Alex Finlayson's been playing a 4 spot, even though she's probably a 1-2.
Yep.
So there's not a lot of options in the post for them.
Yes, the depth is interesting, so to speak, Chris. That is for sure. Meanwhile, Brown now, good child from deep, can't get the go. Bradley with the rebound. She's off and running. Now to O'Neill, into Broomhall, but well deflected by Brown. Brown thought it was last touch by Broomhall.
A little bit of a different look there to the Chargers defensive at that time. They might have gone into a bit of a match-up zone.
So play restarts here as O'Neill goes to work, goes up, can't get the 2 to go. Now, Goodchild with the rebound. Goes into Brown. Brown with a good position. Hobart wanted trouble, referees didn't see it that way. Rock for the finishing touches, yes.
Might have been a little bit of a hop there, Ronald.
Possibly, Chris. Possibly, but referees let that one play. Referees doing a good job throughout. And meanwhile, a foul on the play here, as it's going to be assessed on Brown as she pleads the case, and a typical foul will be assessed on Cassandra Brown, just going a little bit too far.
Yeah, 3 very experienced referees, these 3, on the game tonight.
Yes, of course, Jack Woolcock, David Farmers, and Andrew Johnson refereeing Troika. Of course, AJ just recently notched up 200 games as a referee in the SCABL NBL1 format. So congratulations to AJ. Of course, Dave Farmers has been around for quite some time as well too now. And
yeah, relocated from Western Australia.
He
so,
did, yes.
Used to do some national championships under the WA banner before moving to Tassie.
Tassie, yes. And great to have David down here. Of course, he's a pharmacist by trade, I can tell you. Meanwhile, O'Neill restarts. She gets it back off Mills and now goes for the shot. Can't get it to go. Broomhall and Rock put up a pretty good contest there, but Rock able to win that one on that occasion. And now Clear here with it. Finlayson looking to check back in here, so we'll be interested to see just how long that run goes for Finlayson here, Chris. Meanwhile,
so the Chargers in a match-up zone at the moment.
They certainly are, and a treble on Akuso, as Alex Finlayson will now enter the game with 2:53 remaining.
So Broomhall taking a spell, so Finlayson will come in and play the 4 spot. That last drive from Sarah O'Neill, really strong, positive move. The correct move, she probably just needs to pull up half a step shorter to get that shot off before she hits the defensive hands.
Finlayson off and running, no issues with the ankle there whatsoever on that run by the sounds of it. And now Coleman, Bradley, O'Neill for 3, just off on that one, and then Goodchild with the rebound. So she's off and running, goes solo, last touch by her as she goes out of bounds.
They may need a timeout, the Chargers. They had 3 players then just jogging across the halfway line as Goodchild got to the key.
Yes, because I was going to say the transition defence has been somewhat of an issue throughout this game for the Chargers, Chris, so Wayne Davey might need to address that in one of his huddles if a timeout does come. Meanwhile, Coleman now pulls up, can't get the 2 to go, and then O'Neill and Mills got tangled up there on the boards, and Mt Gambier able to retrieve it. So Clear brings it down now. Now gives off to Goodchild as Goodchild calls for the play. Rock now with it. And a legal screen by Ronald. So we did see this early on in the first quarter, and it's just returned here once again. So that's a second foul now for Ronald. Not that anyone, bar Brown, and no one else in real major foul trouble.
There's a Brown on 4 and a few on 2, so no real issues there for Mt Gambier.
No. Certainly not. Meanwhile, backdoor play as Bradley now from deep. Yes.
The game's leading scorer up to 27 points now. Paige Bradley shooting the ball really well from the 3-point line.
Having a good game so far, Chris. Certainly right up there. Meanwhile, Rock makes something out of nothing on that play.
Yeah, that's tough. Beautiful penetration of the baseline. Help defence came. Shot it over the top of Lauren Mills.
Absolutely. She's up to 12 points for the game. Bradley looking for back-to-back baskets. O'Neill with the O board. And then, well, Mills trying to throw it over to Matt Sutton or Jack Woolcock down there.
Yeah, O'Neill probably could have put that one back up. She had a bit of space there, but nothing wrong with looking to Lauren Mills there either. Lauren's just got to get their hands up and be ready for that.
So Claire now with the ball carrying duties. Looking to go to Rock. Rock fires from deep. Can't get that to go. Kuso with the O-board. Good shot fires from deep and gets it to go down. Good shot up to 18 points in this ball game so far. So under a minute remaining here in this third quarter. Bradley looking for an option. She pulls up and gets the 2, making point number 29. They only tried by 8 here to Chargers. Paige Bradley doing a really good job of keeping them in the game. And now Mt Gambier looking to respond here for Renal, and that one rattles home. So back out to 10 now. 30 seconds to play as Coleman pulls up from the free throw and gets that to go down. So Coleman gets point number 8 for the quarter for her, or point number 10 I think for her in the quarter. She's up to 18. Final play of the third quarter here for the Pioneers as we slow this one right down. Clear. Cross-court pass to Goodchild. Goodchild from deep. Yes, Goodchild up to 21 points.
Super strong finish to the quarter from Goodchild.
And time expires and the margin out to 11. Mt Gambier doing everything right in that third quarter to keep Hobart at bay as we have an 11-point lead to the Pioneers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers would be happy with their offensive output. 65 points without Kayla Steindl in 3 quarters. They'd be more than happy with that. That's on target to get, low 80s, mid 80s. The problem is at the other end of the quarter. They've had a couple of patches where they did a really good job defensively, got a set of stops to start the quarter, then went into that zone defense there and had a couple of good defensive sets, but then they lapse and go to sleep, whether it's through tiredness or a lack of rotations.
Player sponsorships, Hank Petrusma, EIS Property, Bulk Nutrients, Campbelltown Hotel, Foot Systems, Exercise and Sports Priority, Josh Willie, MLC, More Confidence Consulting, Tasbert Precision Contracting, Pass Heat Part Centre, D'Angelo's Restaurants and DS Projects, Samburos and Schweppes Sasashi Beverages for the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre. On cue, O'Neill goes up but missed everything there. Good defensive play by Pioneers. Good shot off and running, kick out pass. Clear for the finishing touches. Is short on that one. Able to get her own rebound. And now Goodchild tries her luck once again. Back on that one. Akuso and O'Neill go at it. Meanwhile, Goodchild this time can't get it to go on the third time as a charm. And now Claire slows this one down. Renal now. Back to Goodchild here. Mt Gambier probably want a different option within this set now. Claire goes all the way. Can't get it to go. Another O-board for the Pioneers. But a shot clock violation as the ball never hit the ring, Chris.
Yeah. We could say a good defensive set because the shot clock ran out.
Yes.
They probably, again, gave up too many opportunities there for Mt Gambier. They've got to make sure all 5 are boxing out, finding a body.
Well, there were at least, 2 to 3 offensive rebounds within that possession there, Chris. So Hobart need to do a much better job on those box outs. As O'Neill now looking for Bradley here. Bradley needs help. And then Lacer for that mid-range too, yes.
Yeah, always been a spot she's liked, Alex Finlayson,
yes.
That baseline jumper.
Yes, no.
Just got to watch the runner there, though, the Chargers. They've got it back under double figures. Now they've got to get some stops. They
certainly do here. Can Hobart make one last kind of run at it? Well, Mt Gambier might blow this one out. We'll see what happens. Claire down low into Kuso. Double team arrives. Now Goodchild for 3 is on the back iron for her. Bradley tiptoes the line and comes up the floor now here. Up to the Creek Road end of the stadium. O'Neill fires from deep. Back on that one. Rebound by Rock. So both teams running and gunning a little bit here as we start this fourth quarter. And good hands by Bradley. And now Coleman off to Bradley. She's off and running. She'll go up. Rejected by Claire. Good defensive play there by Claire. And now Renal just slowing this one down. Decides I'll pull up and not get that one. Akuso.
That's a big rebound.
That is a massive rebound, Chris. As now Renal goes to work. Can't get that to go. Foul on the play. And that's going to be on Alex Finlayson. So that's timeout being called here.
Gambier. Just a little bit scrappy there to start the last quarter at both ends of the floor. Chargers unable to knock down a couple of those shots. Paige Bradley a 2-on-1 in that last play. Can't blame her for going her own. She's certainly been a strong scorer and got fouled on a couple of those drives already. may have been able to dish it to Sarah O'Neill for an easier two, but came back the other way and it's been a bit scrappy, a bit of contact. So Mt Gambier just calling a timeout, reset some things here, get ready to go again.
7:40 remaining here as we come to you from the Hobart Netball and Sports Centre. As round 13 of the Coles Express NBL1 South season continues. Of course, other games happening around the league as well too, and around all conferences tonight as well. So we're not the only game in town. And plenty happening, that is for sure. And of course, we have another home game here tomorrow night. The Keilor Thunder are in town. And
big game for the Tornadoes. They're leading Keilor 71-49. So keeping things alive. It's an interesting couple of weeks for Tassie NBL1 teams. I don't think I can remember the last team that there wasn't a single Tasmanian team in finals, and they're struggling at the moment, all four to qualify. So
yeah, no, that's true, Chris. I'm quickly trying to track back in the memory book here where we might have not last seen the Tassie side in the final system.
Well, the Chargers have missed once. I think maybe 2018. But the Tornadoes, I think, were in it that year.
Yeah, they were, and of course our men's side won the last SEABL championship as well too in that format. Certainly Hobart. Yes, Hobart were out of it in 2018. They just missed out. That was an injury-plagued season, though, with that side that Dwayne Davey had. Because that was the last time we've seen Dwayne Davey before last season when he came back to the club. And it'd be interesting to see at season's end what Dwayne Davey does as well, too. A lot of movements happening left, right, centre. Meanwhile, Coleman can't get that shot to go. And now Goodchild with it as we come back down the floor here. Kuso, now Kalia. She works away through. Nice bounce pass in. Kuso able to somehow juggle that nicely and finish it off.
A little bit of a fumble, but those monster screens that she's setting is what's creating those opportunities.
Absolutely. She's a solid body, of course, Kuso, and good to see. Bradley thought about it. Now Finlayson. Going to Coleman here. Coleman needs to get busy. Fires from deep. Yes.
That little one dribble penetration step back is when her shot looks at its best.
Back to 10 our margin here as the Chargers try and put on a last hurrah. Here's 6.5 to go. Now the ball here with Ronald. Ronald goes up. Offensive foul's been called. Now will this count? No, will not. It waved off. Ronald using that off arm to clear some space.
She's just signalling to her bench. Guns are too big. She can't help it.
One would say, Chris. One would say, that is for sure. So I hope I want to capitalise on that stop and try and get this back within 7 or 8.
Yeah, margin's sat at 10 for quite a while now.
It certainly has, Chris.
Swinging up and down by a couple.
Bradley looking for Coleman. Coleman for 3. Looks good. Is good for Corey Coleman. Back to 7. There's a little bit, another basket here will make it certainly interesting.
She was quite early, Coleman, but she's up to 24 now, shooting the ball well from the perimeter.
Absolutely. The ball goes out of play. Now Gambier ball.
A little bit unlucky there. Not sure the shot clock should have reset. No, they're running it down now.
Yeah, they are. Yep. So shot clock at 8 as Brand Casanado comes in for Goodchild. Broomhall coming in now for Finlayson. Yeah, you're right, Chris. That kind of a small little limp there by Finlayson too tells me that they might want to nurse her tomorrow night, or might just keep her out for precaution maybe.
Shouldn't be out there at the moment when she can't move like that.
2 goes down for Renault. So marching back out to 9 here. 5 and a bit to go. Banks looking to check back in now. So Dwayne Davey rolling the dice there with Banks, who's on 4 fouls. Bradley pulls up, can't get that to go. Ball goes out of bounds and Mt Gambier to get it back.
Yeah, I think with Zoe Banks, I mean, if you leave it any longer, the game's definitely going to be over. Yeah. So roll the dice now, see if she can get that margin back down less than 9. And give themselves a shot.
Absolutely. Let's see what can happen here. Mt Gambier doing not too bad of a job of weathering the storm here that Hobart have created a little bit. See if they can keep this buffer of a lead. There's ball down low to Kuso. Oh, nice pass into Ronald.
That's a great pass, great vision there while she's posting up, and a great back cut there as well.
So Renault will go to line for two. Dwayne Davies stating his case to the referees. 5:23 remaining.
So the Chargers have probably just missed one scorer. We've got four scorers in double figures for Mt Gambier, only three for the Chargers. So that's where it hurts not having Kayla Steindl tonight.
Definitely does. And as you mentioned, Chris, she may suit up tomorrow night. We'll soon see. As Renault goes 1 or 2. Back to 10. Seems to be the number of the night. That margin. Coleman now with it. Needs some options here. Hobart a little bit stagnant in what they're doing. Now goes to Broomhall. Broomhall, kick out pass. Mills, extra to Banks. She puts it to the floor. Mills for the unlikely three. Missed everything. Last touch by Kalia.
And again, that shot was a result of Zoe Banks turning down her look. So Zoe's a good shooter. She done a lot of work for a number of years on her shooting. She's got to be able to catch and knock that down. Don't think about it.
No, can't get caught in two minds, Chris. And Rock over to... Yeah, it will. And the two there by Rock. Timeout by head coach Dwayne Davey. We're at a 12-point ball game here.
Yeah, I think Rock's been really solid in the minutes that she's come on as well. So Mt Gambier now out to 12-point margin. 5 minutes to go in the game. The Chargers are going to have to find something different if they're going to try and create some stops. And without some stops, they don't get back into this game. So Paige Bradley been fantastic with 29 points. Coleman really solid with 24. But it's the other end that they've got to get some stops. 85 points with 5 to go is way too high to give up in a women's game.
Absolutely. Of course, Paige Bradley leading away with 29 points. Corey Coleman up to 24. Ron Mills has 10. Meanwhile, we've got Renault on 24. Goodchild with 21. And then Brown with 11. And then Rock, who's been great off the bench, she has 14 so far. So both teams in their respective huddles, and Matt Sutton, of course, former Mt Gambier Pioneers player. Great to see him giving back to the Mt Gambier community, and his third year in charge of the team here.
Yep. Really strong basketball program in the NBL 1 level at Mt Gambier. The men's have been for a long time.
Oh, they have, yeah.
It's a really tough place to go and play. Now, in the last few years, the women have created a really strong culture as well.
They certainly have, Chris, and I've been lucky enough to officiate a couple of games at the Ice House in my younger days, and that is it's a tough venue, that's for sure. Of course, they play at a different venue now, a bit more of a bigger, up-to-date facility stadium, which is great to see Mt Gambier utilising that as well too. So we can only hope down here that will happen one day as well. Bradley now with it. Needs some options. Bradley hits the floor. Foul is going to be on Clear for reaching in. So Hobart, you would think in this next 2 minutes, Chris, probably needs to make a quick run here if there's any chance here right now.
And Ronald, if they haven't made one in the next couple of minutes, do you rest some of these starters for tomorrow night, or you think they're fresh enough to back up?
I think you wave the white flag, knowing what you got ahead, and you live to fight another day, which is in about 24 hours time, less than 24 hours time, as Banks loses that one. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to understand the importance of a home double header, but understand the importance of your player load management as well too. So I think Dwayne Davey might have to have a look at that in the next couple of minutes if this margin doesn't get back into single digits. Clear now with it. Kick out pass to Rock. Rock doesn't save it. He hits into the KO freebies.
And it is a new thing, these double headers at home.
Yes.
So you've got a much bigger bench than what you would normally have in a double header when you go on the road. So there are a few more options available to the coaches.
Absolutely, yep. And of course, a shortened quick fire season 2 in the Coles Express NBL 1 South. Meanwhile, Broomhall with the 2 as she gets that one to go. So back to that wonderful number of 10. 85-75 our scoreline here. There's Kalia. Kick out to Rock. Into Brown, who's back in the game. Rock nearly lost it. Broomhall did well to pick that one off. She's off and running. She's going to go to the rim. Not bad effort, but can't get it to go, and then hits the floor hard. Now, I think this is going to be on Bradley. It will be, because she was kind of underneath, so to speak. But hopefully Chloe Broomhall's okay down there.
Yeah, she looks okay. It's fairly strong take. She probably needed to get to the side of the rim a little bit more rather than shoot from the front. But good steal, good defensive intensity. They were looking for the same again. Paige Bradley up the floor, extending it.
Excuse me. Meanwhile, Claire now with it. Brown, quick double team. Now Ronaldo at the top of the key. Can't get that to go. Bradley with another rebound here.
The Chargers looking to blitz stuff defensively. They've got to make sure that pass doesn't come out so easily.
And then a poor turnover by Paige Bradley as Goodchild will make him pay down the other end. Back out to 12. So things just not going the way of the Chargers here. They've just lost their way and lost a little bit of patience as well too on both ends of the floor. As Bradley now works her way through. Banks this time fires from deep, and that one goes down for Zoe Banks.
And that's a beautiful looking shot, and she's got to make sure every time she catches it that that's her first thought. She's looking to knock that shot down. So again, they're holding here at the 9 points. They just can't get it back down to that 4 or 5 where they'll put a bit of nervous energy into the Mount Gambier group. So Mount Gambier just got a lot of options offensively that they keep going to, but liking the stuff that the Chargers are doing at the moment. On the Mount Gambier side, probably got Goodchild and Ronaldo just fighting out to see who's going to be the leading scorer for their group.
Absolutely.
23 and 24 points respectively at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll have to try and work out who you might go down and have a bit of a chat to. Chris, this will be new for you as well too. Usually it's me going down there, but tonight we're sending you down, Chris. So.
You could have picked a few early on. I think
we could have, yeah.
I think Brown's had a really good game. Obviously sat for a fair while now with that foul trouble.
Yep.
I think Rock's been solid. Done some really good stuff, particularly offensively. But I think in 3 minutes' time we'll be between those top two.
Yeah. Goodchild or Brown, that is for sure. So, Ronaldo, sorry, not Brown. My apologies. Just getting my numbers muddled up. Been a long week. Glad it's Friday.
Yeah.
Of course, the end of the school.
I think Goodchild.
Yep.
You can see the class and the reason why she's sought after in the WNBL. She's probably not got into top gear today, but when they've needed a basket, she's been able to find one.
She's been able to provide, absolutely. 23 points is very good contribution. And of course, on the defensive end, she's done pretty all right as well too. So, looks like we'll go to her. Hobart with some extensive pressure up the floor here. In one last final effort. Brown now with it. Back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo now back to Brian Casanado. She goes inside to Brown. Brown double team. Brown goes up, interestingly enough, but couldn't get it to go. Mills with the rebound. Hobart need to get moving here because points and time are not on your side, so to speak. Bradley now looking to attack the rim. Mills back to Coleman. Coleman with that screen. Pull up Jay is in and out on that one. Last touch by Mills. No, last touch by Brown.
I'm with you, Ronald.
From my angle,
bit of a reach over the back there from Mills with a hand on it.
I was going to say we have a very good vantage point of where we are here, Chris. So, anyway, we move on. Bradley now looking for Mills. Bradley now goes baseline into Broomhall. Nice play, but Broomhall couldn't finish it. Mills with that well. Oh boy, but Mount Gambier did enough to get off her hands. Claire off and rain. Splits for a couple and a layup.
Yeah, and that's the difference. Missed basket at one end, made at the other end. Could have been back to 7 there. Now out to 11.
So Bradley, now Coleman. Now back to Bradley, into Mills. A foul on the play. It's going to be on Ronaldo.
That'll be her 4th. Shouldn't be a major issue. Only a minute 50 to go in the game.
I mean, I've seen stranger things happen, but I think it's safe to say, Chris, that I think Mount Gambier got this one here. So Bradley to restart. Back to Mills. And then now foul on the play. Now that's going to be on Brian Casanado. That'll be her 3rd personal foul. And of course, Mount Gambier's 4th team foul. So Hobart now, I'm looking, no, 3rd team foul. All right, I thought maybe their 4th, but meanwhile, Bradley, and now their 4th team foul. Score bench just a little bit slow. Bradley from deep, yes.
A It's a big three now. They need stops and force those fouls. So the clock keeps stopping. Get to the foul line.
8 points. Now Renau for a dagger. Just off. And then Brown. Well, that's a dagger in itself because that's a backbreaker right there.
And that sums up the Chargers' night defensively. 2 Chargers players there. Brown comes in between the two of them. No contact to box out.
As Bradley goes for 3, she won the foul. Referees didn't see it that way. Brown now off and running, has numbers in support. And now Brown Castanado going to the rim. Kick out pass, hits a good child, and she's up to 26. Timeout called by head coach Dwayne Davey as we're back to a 13-point ball game here.
13-point ball game there, 94-81, and another good little patch there. Chargers just unable to finish offensively, and all class from Mt Gambier, in particular. Goodchild coming down there and knocking that three. So Mt Gambier at the moment shooting the ball at 45%, 30% still from the three-point line. So they put up 37 threes, only to make 11. The Chargers, they'd be really happy with their offensive end. 81 points, shooting the ball at 42%, shooting the three-point at 52%. It's just the rebounds that's really hurt. 55 to 32, second chances, and the inability to play that defense for more than 1.5 minutes. They've got to get much longer periods of that defensive intensity.
Absolutely, both teams coming out of the huddle here. As we're getting messages from Melbourne, so just got to try and help me out. I'm just going to muck around here just for 1 second.
So the Chargers have cleared a bit of their bench, so the 2 Erin girls coming onto the court. Yep. Ruby and Coco will play this last minute, 6 seconds. So a really young group on the court now for the Chargers.
All right, play to restart here. Banks with it now. Erin putting it to the floor. And lost the handle on that one. And now Brown Castanado off and running. Brown for the finishing touches, yes. That pretty much says it all. And this margin now has really ballooned out to 16 here, Chris.
Just been able to knock down a shot when they've needed to, Mt Gambier.
And they're very close to that ton as well too. They got 50 in the first half and pretty much an ear put on 50 in this second half. So Brown Castanado and a quick foul by Banks, and that will see her out of the game. As Pia Rhodes and Ellie Ferguson will check in for the first time tonight. And so Broomhall coming out as well too. So we have Bartlett, Rhodes, Ferguson, Erin and Aaron out on the floor there, Chris, for this last 30 or so seconds.
Yeah, really young group. A few locals, so a bit of noise now coming from the crowd, appreciating that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see them getting a very short opportunity, but they'll make the most of it here. And a quick foul there on Bartlett. That stops the clock at 24.
And that's the 4th team foul. Might be 5th team foul.
15th
so that's
foul.
bonus 2.
Yep. So Goodchild at the line here for 2. She knocks down the first. She knocks down the second. And we'll send Chris down in a minute with the wireless mic, and you can decide who you'd like to talk to. There's Erin now with it. And nearly lost her handle. And she goes out to Rhodes. Rhodes works her way through, kick out pass, and Erin fumbled that one up. Mt Gambier to get it back. Oh, excuse me. So Mt Gambier pretty much done all the hard work, and it's a well-deserved victory as well too. Again, this is why they're third on the ladder as the clock goes off in the background, and that will do it. Final scores here in Hobart is Mt Gambier 99, Hobart 81. So a massive win there for the Mt Gambier